All right.
You did good.
Thank you.
Good question. We got some good questions. So the real important questions getting asked from the chat box here. So another guy wanted to ask, what about a guy with experience? That's some guys are like, one, I have very little experience with women. Is that a big problem? Are they going to like it? Or I have a lot of experience with women. Is that a big problem? Are women going to like it?
I think the answer to that is just never be honest about it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, sometimes it's okay to like white lie.
Mm-hmm.
If you've slept with only one person before, I wouldn't suggest saying that.
I've always found when women ask this question, it's less about the actual answer and more about how you answer it.
And it's literally becomes about her. It's about her. That question is all about her.
It's mostly due to their own insecurities.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I've always told guys, like, look, if a woman asks you, how many women have you been with, the first reaction you should have is, I always want to know why. So if a woman's asking, I'm like, that's an interesting question. Why do you want to ask, right? But even if they really press you for the answer, which I don't recommend giving, because if it's low, it's bad.
It's
high,
always bad.
Just say,
it's bad. It's in the middle, it's bad.
I know what I'm doing, but I don't have any STDs or illegitimate children.
And I believe in condoms.
That's
There you go. Does that answer your question? Yes,
I've never heard of contraceptives. I have a baloney penis, and I'm willing to meet your mother. Please,
and grandmother.
Please call me back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tinder profile.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't work.
I think that women will minus their number and men will up their number, and so the answer doesn't matter because there's lying all throughout. So I would always just suggest avoiding that question if you can.
Is the rule of three true?
I think it is.
It is? The rule of three is the idea that men exaggerate their number of sexual partners by 3, and that women divide their number of sexual partners by 3.
I think it's true. I don't go by that, but
it's true, except for me.
Except for me. And I just think I'm very much about being honest about that kind of stuff because I don't have any shame. I think there's a lot of shame that comes with that question though as well, especially as a woman.
Well, especially maybe if you've done a whole lot of shameful things. You might have more shame than somebody who did fewer shameful things.
Maybe, but I think there is an element of how many people you've slept with. There's maybe an element of shame, whether it's low or high, depending on who you are.
It's hard as a man because we don't understand where those lines of shame start and end. Because it's hard to tell as a man. We think and I used to tell guys, all right, look, if you're 20 years old, 18 to 20, anything under 10 is probably okay unless it's 1 maybe. But if you're getting above 10, it can get tricky. If you're only 18, 20. And when you get to 25, then it's you should be in maybe 20 to 30 would probably be a pretty Lothario kind of dude. And then when you're 30 or in your 30s like me, you probably should be thinking about marriage and stuff. And if you're not, maybe you're Clooneying it for most of your life, then you get into numbers that can be kind of tricky. So best to avoid that conversation at that point. And don't really divulge those. But I've been on dates with women that have been very upfront about those numbers, and sometimes they've been like, "Oh, I'm 85." And
what is your response?
She worked in a Amsterdam brothel, so it was.
It
was really 80.
No wonder you're poor.
She just started.
Yeah.
No.
Seriously. You can't even buy an electric bicycle for that amount of money.
Not even
or
an
a juicer.
Or a juicer.
$400
juicers. YouTube it. No, but I've been on dates with women that have been honest about it, and it's been kind of refreshing. But I think you guys are right. For the most part, they tend to give the same answer.
So, but as a guy, when you give your answer, do women divide it by 3? So should you multiply it by 3 if you really want to tell the truth?
Yeah, I wonder. I want to say yeah. But then again, I don't know if people actually. I don't know if a lot of people know about the 3 rule.
So if you say that if you're a guy and you say I've slept with 3 women in my life, the woman's gonna go.
You're a virgin.
You're
a
virgin, or you still hung up on your high school girlfriend or something like that.
I passed the point of feeling like I needed to count them a while ago, and I don't really think it matters so much. For me, sex is a normal, positive thing, and to associate any sort of feeling towards a number, I think, is kind of strange and makes you look at sex in a really
That's a great evasive answer.
Non-serious.
Well, the only thing that's non-evasive about that is I stopped counting because it means that it's over-accountable amount.
Which is my subtle communication that I'm...
So many brothels, yeah.
So many of those brothels. I only paid 80% of the time. Just for everyone watching, including my wife, I never paid for sex.
How many doors are there in the red light district?
728.
Actually?
All right. So the answer really is, guys, always tell the truth.
Always
that's
tell the truth.
That's the real answer, but jokes are funny. All right. And what about experience? Is experience, like, what's a good number? What's a good number for a guy to have?
I guess
we just went over that, right?
But we didn't. We didn't give the number. What's a good number, Derek?
Just a couple dozen?
Couple dozen.
Couple dozen. Yeah, I think a couple dozen is safe.
A few dozen?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
A couple dozen.
I think,
it's also vague.
So like
maybe they won't calculate it.
10 to 20, you're like not gonna. That's a very safe zone.
Yeah, I think
that's a
so.
safe zone.
I think once you get into your third.
A couple dozen is 24. If you're my age, I'm 34. I mean, that's like. I'm not gonna math.
It's only 0.7.
That's not very many women a year. Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean.
Also, I think when women ask that question, they're asking you because they think you sleep around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually think.
Oh, that's another.
Or if you're a player,
probably fewer than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good answer. As well.
Fewer than you think. Because it says one thing I noticed: women, if you have good game, if you're smooth and confident, women presume you just get laid like crazy, and they presume that it's much easier than it often is for guys to get laid. So they just think like, oh, this guy must be doing this. If he met me on Tinder and we went on one date, and I'm already thinking of sleeping with him, then he must do this 365 days a year. And sometimes you have a job, so you can only do it 2 or 3 times a week.
Wait.
Only? No.
If I'm a chick, I'm on a date, and I'm like, how many women have you slept with? And you say, fewer than you think. And I say, like 3. You'd be like...
It's just the conversation is not worth having, I think.
As long as your guess was less than 1.
And I don't ever think, as a man, you should ever bring it up. If she asks, then, like, find a way to answer it.
Has a guy ever told you how many sexual partners he's had, and, like, you were disappointed?
Triggered.
I don't even want to get
into it.
Yes, it happened once. And
disappointed.
And it was a stupid. This is just not a conversation getting into.
I don't think you're ready for this number.
Yeah.
What's the number? 7.
I was in the Navy. We went all around the world. 7.